Hello everybody, how you doing? My name is Adrian and I'm your instructor for Kinesiology 234 here in the spring term. And if you're watching this video, then you are clearly in the right place. You've made it past the welcome screen and you're in the syllabus and schedule portion of the course. So let's go ahead and jump on in here. This video is specific to an overview of the syllabus, and we should have plenty of time to go ahead and go over the course layout as well and how it ties into the way I lay out the course content on Blackboard. The syllabi, you have to understand it's an agreement. It's an agreement that's in place between the student and the instructor and the university, and the university and the student. So there's a triad here between that's affected by the syllabus. And this document is just that. It's an agreement that outlines if you do this, you'll receive that. If you earn these points, you'll get this grade. And it's pretty straightforward. But the other part of a syllabi is it's also an informational document. It provides resources for the student just in case there's different resources that need to be utilized on campus. So let's get into the informational component. When we look at our course itself for the spring term, we know we're Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're 11 to 11:50. Then we have a 12 to 12:50. We have a lab section, and we also have a lecture section. And as you'll see in the course layout, we're going to utilize that lecture section to our advantage to go over different topics regarding fitness, as well as different models in fitness, as well as different ways you'll evolve your career skill set in the fitness industry. Almost exclusively, everything is going to be delivered via Blackboard. I don't think I've printed a piece of paper the entire time I've been at Harper. And then we have the important dates. And the ones I always like to point out are the last day to drop a class for 100% refund, Monday, January 24th. And the other one is the last day to withdraw from the class, and that's April 25th. Now, before anybody gets to this point, I would hope you'd come and see me and we can source out some type of solution. There's a reason why you have to drop the course. I understand there's some exogenous things that go on in life, but I would hope we'd be able to have that conversation before you just drift away and disappear from the class. I mean, I just don't like that as an instructor, but there's always a way to resolve an issue. Further down, this is my information, who I am, my degrees, certifications, etc. Phone number. I don't have a physical office on campus. So I don't have an actual phone, but I do have a virtual voicemail, which I've never ever checked in my life. This is the best way. This is easily the best way. So if you send me an email, I'll get back to you. I'll lay the disclaimer out here. It's going to be 24 hours, but it'll be sooner than that more often than not. It goes right to obviously my notebook, also goes right to my phone, so I can usually address things right away, or at least acknowledge I've received your email and I'm working on whatever issue we may have. For office hours, I don't have an office per se, so we may have to just pull up a couple chairs out in the lobby, or we can pull up a couple chairs in the adjunct office over in M building. But we can definitely have meetings if we need to have a meeting, but it's going to be by appointment only. So if we scroll down a little bit further, you saw this when you enrolled in the course. This is the description of the course and what you're going to get out of the course. And I hope to impart a bunch of my knowledge and my background experience and what I've done over the course of my career and kind of guide you along the way. And I understand that some of you, and I often describe this as movement practitioners. You're all movement practitioners, and some of you might be strength conditioning coach oriented, some might be physical therapy, some might be personal trainer. And I get that and I understand that, and I try to speak to each of those in the course itself. But you'll realize we are kind of guided by the National Strength Conditioning Association Certified Personal Trainer certification process. So with my background experience, I can tell you where I started 20-something years ago. I came out of college as a strength conditioning coach, went into personal training, and even within the context of personal training, my skill set has evolved over 25 years. So, you'll find that as a practitioner, you'll evolve your skill set as well. So a couple things you'll see in our class, and we'll talk about, and things you'll have to do is assessments for the client, intakes of a client. Also, how do you develop workout programs for a client and offer guidance and suggestions for them? Those are all things that you'll be graded on. The book itself, Essentials, it's a great book, wonderful book, prepare you for the exam. This Techno Gym, it's supportive of the equipment that's in our fitness facility. Quite frankly, I don't think I'm going to lean on this too much at all, but it's still in my syllabi. And then also with Remind.com, I'm probably not going to even access that at all. But the biggie is I'll end up delivering some additional content, probably from the NSCA and their resources for you guys to go through. And I'll also pull from NASM, and I'll probably pull from what used to be PTA Global, which is now NASM, and use some of their resources as well. And hopefully you'll find those useful. Oh, the important part, the grade, right? So you'll have these different categories, whether it's a portfolio, the practice exams, your presentation, the wellness talk, or the actual evaluation and feedback regarding your workouts. This is your grade, and you can get an idea of how many points you need, and you can start to strategize as you're sitting there right now. And I think it's important for you to really kind of think this through and make sure you're able to stay on target regarding your grades during this course. You know, tragic is the person who comes to me week number 12 having missed 3 or 4 assignments, and they're like, how can I put the rails, the train back on the rails? And it's just not an option. So make sure you strategize, make sure you plot and scheme, and you have an idea how you're going to get that grade, that 90% to get on the A train, all right? So when you look at the portfolio itself, this gives you an outline specific to what's going to go into the portfolio. And I'm hesitant to, and I'm going to leave this flexible in terms of 28 individual sessions, because I think we're going to see a little bit of we need a little bit of flexibility in there because of COVID concerns. And just people being sick, and perhaps maybe a snow day in there, and that won't affect the actual final number. We'll find a way to give it a little weighted average and actually come out with the right points, but I'm not going to be too stressed about the 28 sessions. Yeah, other stuff includes your fitness and wellness talk, etc. We have a few other things that are going on in this course where we'll send you guys out and you'll do exercise testing, etc., and you'll do some other stuff. But long story short, that up here is the main point values for the course, and these are the main sections down here. Now, as we scroll down a little bit further, I'm going to go past the assessment policy. It's important, yes, please don't be late on your assignments. Please make sure you give me notification if you're going to be late, and we can make some accommodations. I'm pretty darn accommodating, and given how unfirm, I can say this, life has been, over the last year and a half to 2 years, I can definitely make some accommodations as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll on down a little bit further and get into the informational component. Part of the informational part includes things like what we expect in the classroom in terms of behavior, but also academic dishonesty. What is academic dishonesty, and how to actually operate within the context of the university and not be found to be plagiarizing or any cheating, etc. So you really have to look at this section and go, okay, this is stuff you've all seen before and all understand. At this point, in terms of your conduct, it shouldn't be an issue, but it's in the document itself. I'm going to scroll down a little bit further here in terms of some resources. Now, if you ever have issues in campus or on campus, these are the people you go to see, whether it's access and disability, or, oh my God, the folks in the library, talk about amazing, man. They're amazing people. Or the student service desk, computer labs, or the tutorial center, a little bit further down here in the writing center. Those folks who work in that area, they are ridiculously passionate about what they do, and they're super smart in that functional area. And believe me when I tell you, I worked part-time in a tutoring center. I helped out for 2 terms doing anatomy. And man, the people I worked with in there, oof, you think I'm passionate. Those people are nuts. And it's interesting too, because it's in these different functional areas, like the people who work in the library, ridiculously smart being able to suss out information in a library. In the computer labs and the writing center, super helpful in writing papers. Same thing with the tutoring center and success services. So I'm telling you, if you need help, don't ever suffer in silence. Go and source these people out and find them, because they are more than happy to help you guys out. And it's their job, quite frankly, and you should utilize that. If you ever have an issue on campus where you do not feel safe, again, do not suffer in silence. Speak up. You can speak up to me. or you can speak up to the police. And if you do have some issues regarding your grades or courses or anything in general, you can bring that to any one of your instructors. I've done this before where I've created what's called a starfish, and it sends an alert to everybody in your academic orbit over at Harper. And what happens is it alerts people in that orbit to reach out to you. Okay, John stated he has this, and this going on in his class. Can we help him out? And then all of a sudden, his advisor hops in, the instructor hops in, and the problem is solved. So I don't think I can stress this enough when I say you should never, ever, ever have to suffer in silence. Make it a point to have your voice heard, and have your voice heard, whether it's to me or to one of those departments, and they'll be more than happy to help you out. Now, if I go into the layout itself, colorful little document you'll see here, and in the layout, I use a Roy G. Biv format. It's something I started using as a student years ago, and I continue to use it as an instructor. Super helpful in allowing me to lay out my courses. And with the Roy G. Biv, what you're seeing here is you have different modules. In essence, module 1 is red, orange is 2, yellow is 3, green is 4. And I left some wiggle room at the bottom for us. I think we're going to need it. But we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and my vision for this course is we have the lecture component. We'll have things like prospecting, networking, and professional appearance. How you present yourself is very important. Things like the initial consultation, how you actually go and delve into personality drivers for the client that's in front of you. What is it? What is their why? What is their motivator? And also just for the fact that, you're so often in college asked to do public speaking versus now you're going to sit down one-on-one across the table with somebody. Surprisingly, that can be more intimidating than talking to a group if you're not practiced at it. And we'll get into more like positive coaching environments, setting goals, different business models you might be involved in, et cetera, and how you evolve your skill set over the course of your career. On Thursdays, this is what I'm envisioning. I might need a little flexibility on this depending how things shake out for the term. But of course, we'll have to dip back into safety, generalized safety in the weight room, how you properly spot your clients, proper technique on the main exercises. Part S will come and do a presentation for us in terms of getting to why and finding out more in terms of the open-ended questioning when you sit with a prospective client. And then we'll talk of course, progression, regression, planes of the body, human movement, et cetera. And so when you look at this, we're going to have a nice topical overview of different areas within fitness to kind of refresh as you're working with your clients. But also, I want you to have some exposure to some new stuff as well. And that's going to be more the soft skills that you'll need when you're working with clients. So where this Roy G. Biv ties out, if I can bring this out, when you go into learning modules, what you'll see is, hold on. What you'll see is you'll have module 1, module 2, module 3. And with the different modules, they'll be color-coded. So as you're in here, module 1, all your presentations, all your documents, everything will have some type of red highlight on it or red note on it, so you'll know you're in the right place. So if you're looking for something from the first part of the course, it's going to be in the red. If it's something from later on in the course, it's going to be in either the yellow or the green. I just do that color codification to keep my life simple and kind of keep things organized. And I found it to be very helpful for me. And I found students also find it to be a benefit when I utilize it in the course. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off and start doing a little more content load in for you guys. Be on the lookout for more videos. Have a good one. I look forward to meeting you guys. Thank you.